Welcome to another chapter of World's Longest Suicide Note. This is somewhere in the 50s, early 50s. Yeah, I didn't check prior to pushing the button, so I'm not as prepared. And honestly, that's not saying a lot. So, yeah, my name's Roger, and I deal with periods of suicidality, meaning there's when I'm having a bad day, chances are my mind goes to not being here. So, not all the time, but often. So, yes. But even though that's the case, I am not a professional at anyone else's situation. Just in my own way, in my own mind. So, anyway, yeah, I kind of want to talk today about toxic positivity. And not just not positivity. That's a good thing, but toxic positivity, which I think is a bad thing. Well, I mean, the toxic kind of gives it away. When you say anything's toxic, there's not a lot of there's not going to be a twist probably at the end of that situation. So, yeah, let's chat about it. I don't even know what I'm just going to paint something here. I'm getting tired of this painting. I've got some other paintings that I'm doing a painting for a nonprofit as part of a live painting deal where people have some cocktails and they watch a guy paint, and then that gets them ready to bid on things. Yeah, so I'm kind of I need to just push through. I get to the place where I just need to focus up and get this one done. Not for any other reason than because I'm getting bored with it. So, yeah, but I know somebody who, despite themselves and their best efforts, they say and do things with one purpose in mind, and that's no matter what, everything has got to be positive. It's got to be a positive. You can't say anything negative. Don't even want to have anything spoken that's not positive. And I think that's a real thing that people feel, and in an attempt to control their environment, this is what they do. It's like, I'm going to control the narrative to the point where there will be nothing negative whatsoever, so I feel better about where I am in my surroundings. And the problem is they put that on everyone around them. Oh, you can't say that, can't say that, can't say that. And what it does is it stifles people's needing to express what they're feeling, what they're going through. And so it's it's a negative thing, in my opinion. And that's what all this is just my opinion. So if that bothers you, then I'm okay being in disagreement, because I just definitely feel, I think we should all meet everyone where they are. And if a person is not in a state of mind where they're feeling overly positive, I think it's now I'm gonna not the word positive is just gonna start popping out. I think it's advantageous to understand and validate where you're at as far as feelings, and saying, oh, you can't feel this way or can't express yourself about feelings this way, because that's not positive. So positivity at all costs, if you ask me, is pointless and dangerous. Yeah, it's like, and I have a couple. I start saying something, but then I start thinking about what I was saying. So I'm having this inner dialogue about what's coming. I'm playing 4D chess with myself and what I'm going to say, and that's not possible. So anyway, whenever I vapor lock, that's what's happening. So anyway, there was a movie. Like, somebody didn't ever see this movie. The Titanic. It was, a big movie, and I didn't mind it, as much. It wasn't really kind of my thing. Far less action than, and it was super long, but it was good. It was a good show. I definitely felt that there was room for Jack on that piece of wood, and later it was proven by the Mythbusters that Jack could have been on there with Rose, and they would have been fine. Just saying. Yeah. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I mean, maybe if Rose would have been more toxically positive, she would have said, "No, we can do it no matter what." There was a part in the movie when there was a knowledge that the ship was going to go down. The impossible had happened, and now death was imminent. And the part where they're playing music, and then why I hesitated a minute ago, because I was thinking to myself, it's like, well, if I was on a ship and there was nothing to do but die, maybe I would want to paint. Maybe I would want to go out doing something else than just screaming. So, my original idea of using that as the example, toxic positivity, playing music while the ship's, while you're dying, that may be an idea of toxic positivity. But then, of course, I started arguing with myself, like, well, in that situation, maybe, and if there just happened to be some paints or even crayons, and I may want to go out painting or drawing or something. So I don't know what I did there. I think I just debated my own self into acquiescence. I don't know. Let's move on, though. Okay. Toxic positivity. Because my example just blew up in my face. Yeah. So, but I think we've all been around toxically positive people. And the question, like anything, there's good things. Even the best of things can be toxic to a level. I mean, exercise is good. Exercising 12 hours a day, every day, is not good. That's toxic to your body. It's not healthy. At some point, your body's going to break down, and bad things are going to happen. So good things. Anytime you take a good thing and you overdo it, it has the potential of being toxic. So positivity is a good thing, maybe the best thing. Having a positive outlook going through tough times, I think, is absolutely essential. But in the face of overwhelming evidence against it, it puts unrealistic expectations that, again, are not. It's not possible to go through. So being positive, but also being realistic, is by far the best. Because it's at the end of the day, we all have to play by a set of rules that dictate what's possible and what's not possible. And so being realistic allows for the idea that yes, there's challenges, and we're not going to take away from those challenges. We're going to face them, and sometimes it's just going to suck. But that's better than saying everything's great, everything's awesome, and no matter what, that's the way it's going to be. We can't skew reality to meet our needs. That's not how that works, because we're gonna bump into reality every chance we get. I mean, it's going to dictate where we end up. And so there may be things that we can do earlier if we're not shut off to those, if we're open to them, because we're not just saying, oh, it's all going to be fine. Sometimes if we're concerned, there's a reason why we're concerned, and there may be information that we can get. There may be situations that we could take advantage of if we're paying attention and not just blindly, like going about our business. If you go out into the woods and you're with your toxically positive friend and you start hiking, and I think a lot of, for most of us who have been out in the woods and have taken a turn and had that moment of, I'm going to have to eat myself to survive because I don't know where I am, will understand that there's opportunities afforded to you once you become aware of the ever increasing anxiety that's happening when you find yourself in the unfamiliar. So if you're hiking with that one friend, and all of a sudden you start getting concerned, it's like, I'm not sure this is the right way, or I'm not sure if we've lost the path, and you have a friend that's just, oh no, it's fine, no, we just keep going, it's going to be fine, and no matter what, will not change their perception or perspective to meet the evidence that is mounting. That's the problem, because you could say, oh, everything's great, everything's awesome. Oh wait, that I don't remember that, or I don't think that's supposed to be there. I don't know if we're where we are. If you ignore that, that's the problem is in the ignoring of that evidence that's coming towards you. That doesn't mean you have to fall apart. Oh, we're gonna die. Just go ahead, eat me now, or feed me to a bear, kind of situation. So that's where toxic positivity could really mess you up. If someone's constantly, no, do this, it's awesome, we're great, we're perfect, everything is going according to plan. So there's times when you have to be in control your situation and where you're going, and with yourself to not. I mean, a good positive inner monologue is a good thing. Oh no, you're doing fine. You're doing great. What we're gonna do is this, and then we're gonna talking your way in and through things. Is I do it all the time, more and more, and it may be a problem, but it is. I feel that it's a good thing to do. Have that good positive inner monologue, but not at the expense of reality. So your friend who's just like, no, at some point you have to say, look, you're not in charge, and I'm turning around, because where we're going is the wrong way. So you can't ignoring evidence and of error, or of, I think we're very intuitive creatures by nature, and so we usually, if we're perceptive, there's warning signs that occur throughout throughout our day, throughout our journey, whatever we're doing. If we're in a like a foreign land, and we're walking, and we get a weird feeling about just like, oh, like spider sense tingling, that needs to be taken seriously, not just pushed away, because that thought may be negative. Oh no, you're just thinking negatively. They're not here to those people over there aren't going to steal from us, or hurt us, and those kind of things. Sure, we can go walking around in the middle of the night and be perfectly safe. I mean, and there's times when it works, and that toxically positive person will say, see, I told you it was going to be fine. But it's not about that. It's not about, oh yeah, it did work out fine, but the possibilities it was kind of a roll of a dice for a second there. So I don't, and then I am such a believer in being honest with your thoughts and feelings. I think that's if you're feeling something, there's a need to validate it in some way, or not, or invalidate it, but it needs to be dealt with, and just trying to be positive for positive sake. Some people feel like that's like, oh, putting on a brave face. No, that's not. Positivity is great. It's an amazing thing. And incorporating more positivity into your life is a great thing. And I highly encourage, but it can't come at it can't come at the, what's that word? I just had it. At the expense. It can't come at the expense of reality, or putting yourself in a position where it's more important to be positive than to justify how you're feeling. That's the essence of what I'm trying to say. Absolutely embrace positivity, but also embrace reality, and be aware of what's going on with you and the surroundings. Yes, and be positive, and be, bright and cheery, and whatever else you want to be, just within the scope of life. And sometimes cut yourself off from some of that positive, toxic energy is something that I encourage everyone to do. And sometimes that's painful. it's easier when it's coming from you because you could change it. I mean, you can kind of work on that. When it's coming from someone else, you have to, I'm not saying cut and run, but I'm saying you're going to have to limit your exposure to that kind of energy. Anyway, what is that? I'm getting things on my watch. Sorry. I get, my watch. You're being toxically positive. Yeah. All right. Stop. You're being toxically toxic. Have a great day, everybody. Keep fighting, and we'll talk about something next time. Sorry, I kind of lost track there, but it's me. You know me.